Hello family, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing great. In today's video I'm going to share with you another breakfast recipe, fried cinnamon rolls. They're perfect for breakfast or for evening snacks. Step-by-step tutorial for beginners. If you're new to my channel, welcome and welcome back to Beyond Aroma of Kenya, where I make simple and easy recipes perfect for ordinary families. Check out my other videos on my channel. Check out the playlist that I created on my channel. I know you're going to love a bunch of videos in there. And kindly make sure you subscribe to my channel to support me to create more videos like this. Let's get straight to today's video. Inside my bowl here, I have 2 cups of all-purpose wheat flour. So all I'm going to do is to add some salt to it. Just going to go in with a 1/4 teaspoon, and then I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick mix. My bowl is a little tiny. I don't want to make a mess. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. For today's recipe, I'm actually going to be using yeast. If you don't want to use yeast, you can make self-rising flour and replace it with this flour. So to each cup of regular flour, you can just add 1 tablespoon of baking powder to it to make self-rising flour. Yes. So let me just set this aside for a few minutes, and then right here I have my bowl or my basin. It's a little big, so I can't say it's a bowl. It's more like a bowl, but not a bowl exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and just add in my wet ingredients. So right here in this yellow tumbler, I have 1/2 cup of milk. I'm going to go ahead and add it in. So the milk is warm because I'm going to be using yeast. Even if you're using self-rising flour, make sure you use warm milk. Yeah. And then right here I have my instant yeast. This is the brand I'm going to be working with today. So since I have here 2 cups of flour, I'm just going to go ahead and add in 1.5 tablespoon of yeast. So like I've said in my other videos, if you're using the other yeast that needs to be rested, the regular yeast, not the instant yeast, you have to rest this mixture for at least 7 to 10 minutes or 5 minutes if it's the least minutes that you get, so that you activate your yeast. So I hope you've got that. So since I'm going to be using instant yeast here, I actually don't need to rest this mixture. So here we go. I have 1 tablespoon and a half. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my spoon to mix this up. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm now going to go in with my flour. I'll just add it all in. Another thing that I'm going to add in is some sugar. So for the sugar, you can actually mix it together with the flour and salt. Since I forgot to do that, let me just add it over here right now. So the recipe requires 2.5 tablespoons. I feel like that is really so much. Since you are going to be adding a sugar filling in, so I'm going to go in with 2 tablespoons. They have So from here, all I'm going to do is to use my strongest spoon around to mix this up. And then another thing that I'm going to add in is 1/2 cup of water. The water, I didn't add it together with the milk because we are going to be adding it bit by bit. So the water is also 1/2 cup. The milk is also 1/2 cup. If you decide, you can just use water 1 cup or 1 cup of milk. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and just use my spoon to mix this up. And I'm using my strongest spoon that I have around, like I said before. You can use a spatula or a wooden spoon for this part of the video. Okay, so another thing that I'm almost forgetting to tell you guys is to set some flour aside for the dusting. You're going to need it. Yeah. So I have mine right here. So let me just go in with my water. Okay, so here's the thing. If you're adding your water and you're mixing with a spoon, actually you can't like feel the dough, you know. I don't know how to say that, but I know you understand what I mean. So just make sure you add your water bit by bit, because you might add so much water in, and then when you realize it, it's so late and you don't have more flour to add in. Okay, the dough is beginning to be a little soft. Oh, my spoon here is blocking this. So I'm going to go in with my hand and just knead this. So before you start this video, make sure you wash your hands. Even if you don't like to wash your body, wash your hands. I'm just kidding, you guys. So make sure your hands are clean, and then you're going to knead this. Oh, the dough is a little sticky. Actually, really sticky. So this is why I was saying you can't know the exact amount of water and milk that you're going to need, especially the water that you're going to be adding bit by bit. So let me just say you're going to need like 1 1/4 cup of milk or 1 1/4 cup of water if you decide to use plain milk or plain water. I'm going to go ahead and just add a dash of oil, and then I'm going to use it to knead this dough to make it easier for me, so I can like work it out. As you can see now, the dough is a little bit less sticky. Just get the ones on the sides of this bowl. Don't want to waste any flour. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. This bowl is really deep. You can see my hands move around, right? Or should I just transfer it to a board? Let me just do that. I don't want to struggle to create this and then you can't see anything that I'm doing. I'm just going to try my best to knead this dough on my board over here as I stretch it. So since this is not like a bread dough, I'm not going to take so much time on it. I'm just going to do it for at least 5 minutes over here. Yeah, and in the basin I knead it like 5 minutes also. So a total of 10 minutes will be okay. I'll just try to stretch it around, and as you can see, my dough is now not so sticky, so there's no need for me to dust my board really. If your dough is super sticky, you can dust your board. I want to try to use my fist too. The fist works really well. And when you're kneading your dough, make sure there are no lumps in it. You don't want a lumpy dough. That will be very messy. The dough is beginning to be a little, let me say, bubbly. I guess the fist is doing magic here, you guys. So actually right now the weather is a little hot, and I'm just praying that this yeast that I used doesn't like let me down. Okay, so I feel like my dough is ready now, and the dough is really soft. I'm just going to round it up like I'm doing in the video to make a nice circular shape. I'm rubbing a lot. And then I'm going to go ahead and just add my dough over here to my bowl again so I can rest it. Oh, I feel like this is going to turn out really great. I can just feel the dough. Okay, let me get something to cover it. So right here, I have my usual polythene. I'm going to go ahead and just cover it up. I don't want the polythene to stick on the dough, so let me just rub a little bit of my cooking oil to the dough here, and then I'll cover it up. And then what I'm going to do is to rest this for at least an hour. You can extend it to 2 hours. The resting time actually depends with the temperature. I'm going to go on top of it with a lid. So let's just wait for this dough to rise. It's already past 1 hour. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the second step. I'm going to be preparing my filling. For me, I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm going to add it to my bowl here. That's just 4 tablespoons of sugar. And then another thing that I'm going to add in is cinnamon powder. I'm going to go in with 1.5 tablespoons. And then I'm going to mix this up. And then I'll just set it aside. I'm just going to go ahead and uncover my dough and uncover. And then this is how this dough looks. It's very stretchy and very soft. Look at that, and squishy. Let me just first try to knead it, collect it together, and then I'm going to go ahead and dust my board. And then I'm going to add my dough. And then all I'm going to do is to spread it. So I'm actually almost forgetting something. So since I don't have a very large working surface, I usually put together 2 of my boards like this. So let me just go ahead and dust this second board. And you guys, I bought this cute little rolling pin here. It's very light. I feel like it's perfect for this. So let me just go ahead and roll out this. This is really challenging. My body is moving a lot, but I'm going to try my best. So it's just all about rolling this to make it rectangular or square. Okay, I feel like this way it will work much better. Now I can move this around. Wow, it's not moving so much. So when you are rolling this out, just make sure it's at least a 1/4 inch, not so thin and not so thick. Hi. No, you're not done. The other book, can you go? Another book, baby. And this is what I have here. You see how large it is? As you can see, this is the thickness. You see that? It's not so thick and it's not so thin. So the first thing I'm going to do is to spread some butter to it. So actually, if you don't have butter, you can use margarine as usual. I know I've said that. Or you can use cooking oil. Leftover cooking oil is perfect. I have my butter here. This is at least 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to go ahead and apply it on this. I'm sorry, margarine. So if you're applying this, you have to leave a 1/4 inch space along the edge of your dough. so that when you're rolling your dough out, it doesn't become so messy. And this is what we have here. After this, I'm now going to just go ahead and sprinkle my cinnamon sugar mixture. And if you feel like it's enough, you don't have to sprinkle the whole mixture that you made. So all I'm going to do here after this is to roll this dough together. So I'm going to start from this end, then I'll bring it to this other side. The dough is starting to stick to the board, you guys. Maybe I didn't just dust the board properly. Okay, here we go. So I'm done with this other board. I don't see the need of moving it around. I try to now work with this one. Okay. I started on a bad note, but it's turning out really good at the end after all. I'm done. So this is what I have here. So all I'm going to do now is to pinch the ends together like this. And then I'm going to try to pat it up to shape it. I'm going to cut this into 12 pieces. So the first thing I'm going to do is to make 4 marks. And then to each I'm going to cut it into 3 to make 12. And then I'm going to go in with my knife and then I'll just divide them now. I'm now going to shape them like this other one, this other part is like out. So I'm just going to at least try to use my hand to make these ones at the end. Did not turn out really nice. I want to make them a little bit neater. Nothing is really perfect, you guys, but you have to try. Okay, close at the camera, you can see that, right? It's really cute. Actually, for some reason I don't need the string anymore. Oh god, I was supposed to use the string, but I actually used a knife. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry about that, but now I can't go back and rectify this. I already made a mess. Now I'm just going to try to turn the mess into something beautiful. Okay, so use this part so you can avoid the fingerprints. Then I'll set it aside again. So the next part of this is proofing this. The recipe says it should be like an hour, but I feel like that is so much time, especially if you're not baking this. If you're baking this, just proof them for at least 48 or 60 minutes. Yeah, but for me, I'm just going to cut the time enough. I'm going to proof them for 30 minutes. I feel like that is going to be okay, because we are frying these, they don't need that much time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add them to a tray, and then I'll cover them properly. I'll just lightly dust my tray so I don't struggle to remove them when they're ready. I want to give them the power to rise, so I'm not going to squeeze them so much. I'll go on top of it with that towel. So I'll let them rest for 30 minutes like I said before. So it's already past 30 minutes, the resting time. I'll just go ahead and move on to the next part of this video. So So you guys, I feel like maybe I should use some toothpick to hold them together because I don't want the filling in my oil. So what I'm going to do is to pass this toothpick from this side to this other side just to hold this together. Okay, and then I'll just let it be. So right now it's a little compact or something like that. I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the process with these other ones here. So right here I have my pan. I'm going to go ahead and fire up my stove, and then I'll just preheat my oil until it's medium hot. As usual, I'm going to use my wooden spoon to test if my oil is ready. It's not ready yet. So as you can see, my wooden spoon is removing tiny bubbles. That means this oil is just ready. I'm going to use low heat to fry this. Just hold this and then I'll put it to the oil. I'm just going to fry both sides to golden brown. The trick is just to turn them several times until you get a beautiful golden brown color that you want. Look at that, the first side is just ready. So these are just ready. I'll just set them aside. I have this tray over here. I should add a napkin on it or at least a pepper, but I don't want this to burn, so let me just remove them first and then I'll do that so that the remaining oil can drain. Okay, actually I don't see the need of repeating the same process on camera. I'll fry the rest of camera. So I already finished frying my rolls and this is how they look. Not all of them turned out really perfect, you guys. They're a little burnt, but I love that they're golden brown. That is the main aim here, you know. They're a little crispy. I expected them to be more soft. I actually love this one so much. I hope you like this particular simple and easy recipe that you can try at home. It's super simple and easy. They're perfect for breakfast, for evening snacks, or anytime you feel like eating something, you know. Check out my other videos in my channel. Check out the playlist that I created on my channel. I know you're going to love a bunch of my videos in there. So let's just go ahead and give this a taste test. So this is how this turned out. I love the fact that the inside of this is also cooked. They're a little crispy on the outside and soft in the inside. Thanks for watching, you guys, and kindly subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss my uploads. Thanks for watching again, and see you in my next video. Bye.